a Friday.
It's been a curiously busy week, and it's because I don't know why. I don't know. Post holiday, we just moved. I still haven't found some stuff, dude. It's kind of weird. Like the little white puck that you use for the Philips Hue lights.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what that is. Like, I remember the exact day that I packed that area,
Yeah.
where my little office nook was before. My boxes are all unpacked. I have, you can't see it and I can't turn the camera, but there's a bed in here and it has, I don't know, 1,000 cables on it, still waiting to be sorted through. It's a nightmare. Like whole days go by and I'm like just inundated with stuff to do. I don't know what's going on. Anywho, how are you doing?
I mean, it's Friday.
Yeah,
That's
sure
the
is.
that's the gist of it. I don't know. Phil Spencer's down South America, talking about Xbox Mobile Store. It sounds like it's launching sooner rather than later. And curiously, they're working with partners, unnamed partners, to bring more content to that store. So it sounds like it's going to be a big effort.
Hopefully one of those partners is Epic. Speaking of which, one of the many things I haven't gotten to yet is the judge in that antitrust trial has demanded that Epic and Google actually try to settle this case before the jury delivers their verdict. So the jury is ready with the verdict.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, you're not hearing this until you guys make a good faith effort to actually settle the case, which they've apparently never done. Kind of interesting.
It is kind of interesting. It's also kind of interesting, too, because if I remember correctly, on the Apple side, they just lost. Like, there was no...
It's actually a little more nuanced than that. The thing that bugs me about that is everyone's like, oh, they got killed. It's like, actually, they won on the most important point. The thing is that the resolution of it ended up not really hurting Apple like it should have. But yeah, this one's a little different because there's a lot more evidence out in the world about Google's terrible behavior. We'll see. At least, hopefully, it will set some kind of a precedent that we can move forward with more reasonable app stores.
Yeah,
we'll see.
You see what happens on that side of the coin. There was something else I was going to bring up, but I cannot remember what it was now. I mean, more people can get access to Copilot on Windows 10. Like, if that's what's keeping you up at night, that's...
Shouldn't be. It won't really be as soon as you try it. So there's that. But yeah.
Yeah. And then
some
according
RCS
to
stuff.
I was going to say Stat Counter, which, take a grain of salt, says 26% of all PCs are running Windows 11. But more importantly, probably for Microsoft, Edge hits an all-time high of about 11% of all connected
11%.
devices. Yeah.
Wow. That might be its peak because one of the little problems that Microsoft's going through right now is they decided to get rid of all the Edge perks in Microsoft Rewards, which is probably a reason most people were actually using it, or most of the people who use Microsoft Rewards were using it. We'll see. Again, I always say we'll see. I don't know because I don't really know what's happening. But
yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing that keeps me stuck to Edge on my primary device, I'm using Chrome on this one, which I'm almost positive does not do it.
What's that?
Yeah, Alt-Tab. So...
Oh, you're talking about the tabs.
Yeah, no. Like, with Edge, you can Alt-Tab to your, 5 open tabs. Yeah. Can't do that with Chrome. I
literally just turned that off on the laptop that's in front of me. But you love it, right?
Oh, I love it, yeah.
Really like. It screws me up every time. And then I'm always like, oh, yeah, right. Edge. Stupid.
No, I love it.
I hate it. But, yeah, no, this is one of those things. I mean, people, you either love it. I don't think people are like, I don't care. I think you literally love it or you hate it.
Yeah, I think it primarily comes down to just the way that Stardock works, honestly, is we have a lot of web-based services, right? We have our merchant store, we have Jira, we have other online things that you access through a web page. And so I have them pinned, which Edge likes to forget 3 to 4 times a month that I have pinned tabs. And I can just Alt-Tab to them because I bounce through them very quickly. And that's helpful. But yeah, I'm not I
hate it, but I hear it. I mean, right, sure. I suppose you could just, make them little web app things and put them on your taskbar, and then they would be discrete applications and Alt-Tab by that point. But
I mean, that is an option.
But
Because
no, I mean, I hear you. I guess if you work a lot in the browser, but I still think there's weird issues with it. I mean, what you said three, I think it's three by default, or five or seven, or you can
I
have
think
some
it's
memory,
five.
whatever
Yeah,
it is. And I don't know. Like sometimes you might want, you 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 can't get to the other ones, right? So,
right.
and then I don't know how sleeping tabs impacts this. I don't know. I just find it. I hate it. I just hate it so much. I can't work that way.
We're here for you, Paul Threat, are we? Maybe.
I'm having a moment this morning.
The other interesting, maybe it's not interesting. So there's a show. Only like a specific set of users will know this, and probably a lot of them are listening. Is
Mm-hmm.
if you say the show desktop button on the taskbar, a
Yep.
lot of people are probably going to be like,
What are you
"What the
talking
hell are you
about?
talking about?"
Well, because it's not really a button for
Yeah,
one thing, and it's like a tiny slice of real estate you wouldn't even know existed unless you happened to mouse into it and a little flyover popped up or whatever it's
yeah.
called, the little yellow thing.
Or if you were, was that introduced with Vista? I know it was in 7.
So, all right, I don't remember the exact versions, but at one point there was um, I think it was called Quick Launch toolbar that was
Mm-hmm.
over by the start button.
Yep.
And this was the beginning of these little icons in the taskbar.
Yep.
And one of them was show desktop. And you could put stuff in there. And some people would have this giant string of 27 little tiny icons, right? I think as of Windows 7, because it's a new taskbar, like the ability to have little toolbars is gone now, or separate toolbars is long
Mm-hmm.
gone. Um, but yeah, they at some point they deprecated and then get rid of that quick launch thing. And that might be the wrong name. I apologize if that's not the right name. But yeah, show desktop moved over to where it is now. But it used to be a little bigger. Like Windows 7, I definitely remember it was like a little rectangle because that was the arrow stuff, and you could see it. You could at least notice it. It's still there, but it's seriously, it's not like a pixel, but it might be like 3 pixels. It's
Yeah.
not very big. Um, Most people, I assume, just do like Windows key D to get to the desktop. But
Yeah. It's
I don't know.
incredibly
Yeah, I
hard to
don't
hit
remember.
too if you have
Well, I'm sorry, but why are you
multi-monitors.
mentioning this? So what's up with
Oh,
show
yeah,
desktop?
Microsoft's looking to maybe replace it with Copilot. So,
Yeah, I do think that the moving Copilot under where it goes up is kind of interesting, right? And
I
it's a
mean, it makes
colorful
more
enough
sense.
icon; it will attract your attention.
Yeah. I don't know, but we
Uh,
both know that Microsoft is going for maximum amount of clicks to open this thing, and putting it there is not going to maximize the number of clicks for.
hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know
I
how
don't know either.
people use it. I mean, I mean, I turn it off anyway. I don't really care about it too much. But I don't. I guess there would be a visual balance there with widgets if they could get rid of all that other stuff that's in the tray or
Hmm.
something. I think this is the little problem. They've worked themselves into a UI
Well, if you remember that Windows
corner.
12 or whatever Next Valley screenshot that leaked at Ignite, where they had all that stuff moved up to the top, very Mac OS
Right.
like, then they would have that
Like a
spot
Mac,
down there
yeah.
without a system tray.
Yeah, and but then you get that's weird too, though, right? I mean, having like a panel at the bottom, which is the taskbar, and then like a panel at the top, which is sort of a menu thing or whatever that is. I mean, I don't know. That's actually so. That's one of the things I kind of don't like about Edge, right? So they really went full bore on the rounded corner thing at Edge, and so everything feels like these like discrete panels where like you're losing
Mm-hmm.
pixels in every direction, so they can have that little border space. So there's like a sidebar. There's stuff at the top. They've got the corner. Like I feel like it's getting small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like those old joked screenshots of like Microsoft Word with all the toolbars enabled, and all you had to write was a little postage stamp in the middle. I don't know. I'm not a UI expert, but
I don't know if Microsoft is either, but
yeah. And by the way, I know just a little side thought to that. If they do make a change like that, they'll just make it easier for people to move to the Mac.
yeah.
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't
the
know
Mac's
either.
fine. I mean, that's part of the Mac UI is fine to me. Like they have a dock, obviously, that you can hide and move to corners or sides. Um, the menu bar, it is a weird little difference. I
It
don't
is.
know. I can't really say that one's better than the other. I feel like menus are kind of going away a little bit for a lot of apps. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have a keyboard on. Well, I can do it down there. Among File Explorer's many problems, you should be able to. I can never get this to. Every once in a while, I get this to work. If you have File Explorer in front of you, hit like Alt F or Alt, I think
Yes.
V to bring up the menu. Right.
Yep.
I can't get this to work on some computers though. Like sometimes it works fine, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it brings up basically the file drop down menu.
It should. That's what's supposed to happen. But what I'm seeing on this computer is a context menu on top of the home button that says create shortcut.
Yeah, that's what I get too.
Properties and close. And that's like the window button, I think. Is it? No, it's
I don't
not.
know.
That's a different menu. I don't know. It doesn't work consistently. I wanted to put it in the book and I'm like, I actually can't get this to work. So why would I tell people to do this? Anyway, I think Stevie Batish mentioned at Build this notion of, the three different like AI app types or whatever. But one of the things he talked about was this new kind of generation of app type that was command rich, like the Microsoft Office apps are, or Photoshop or whatever, but without the visual overload of all the controls.
Sure.
So it's kind of hard to do that. Like File Explorer is, kind of modern looking and everything, but it doesn't get bogged down by these legacy UIs too much. But the example he used of a good example of it was Clipchamp, which is actually a good point because it only, there's a lot of stuff in there, but the UI, for a video editor is actually pretty simple. I mean, it's hard to do, but I just wonder as we change the way apps look and how they work, if these old style things maybe don't make as much sense anymore anyway. So who cares? And then, Windows itself could change to match. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I guess.
Or maybe not. I don't know. The sun might explode. We'll see.
Yeah, who cares? It's Friday.